We're 2/3 through 2024 and Mazda sales continue to increase. They're stacking up as we're tracking the best ever sales year in the US. August was full of best evers, including the number 2 best ever total month.
More car vids. More car vids.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise, Alabama. And in this edition of Mazda News Update, we're talking about the August 2024 sales results, specifically in North America and specifically August of 2024 in the US was the second best ever sales total in the history of Mazda in the US. Congratulations to all of you new Mazda owners. Thank you for your continued support and business. And we've had a similar conversation last month as we were talking about July, and it was below 40,000. This month, we're over 40,000. In fact, over 41,000. And at the time, I couldn't remember exactly if I had seen a month over 40,000. And then, of course, I inserted through the flashback to May results of 2021, which is now the number 1 best ever with 42,187 sales. And August of 2024 is in the record books with sales of 41,259. I think that's worth another round of applause. Congratulations, and thank you for your continued support in business. That brings our year-to-date sales in the U.S. at 283,611. And if you do the math like I like to do, project it to or through December, that's 425,000 sales if Mazda inventory levels and sales keep the same pace. So that would be the best ever year Mazda's ever had in the U.S. ever. Mazda certified pre-owned or CPO sales in the U.S. were up 30%, 7,481. And our neighbors to the north, Mazda Canada, they were up 57% year over year with 8,443 total. And their year-to-date's just over 48.4. Our neighbors down south, Mazda Motor de Mexico with 8,452 sales in August. And that brings their year-to-date just over 61,000. So excited for all of you new Mazda owners. You know what to do. Comment down below if you purchased a new or certified Mazda in the month of August so we could celebrate you and give you some hearts. Speaking of those best evers, the CX-30 had its best ever August, and you would think after so many big months of CX-30 that the inventory levels were getting low, but they continued to have a big month for August. Also, we had some best ever of CX-90, CX-50, and of course, CX-70, as just about every month is tracking its best ever. These crossovers are really leading the way, and we can't wait until we add the CX-50 Hybrid in a couple of months. Speaking of that, new information is that we are going to be allocated some CX-50 Hybrids this month, which I believe means that everything's kind of scaling faster, maybe about a month ahead of schedule. So we could see these vehicles arrive at the end of October or the first half of November, but it really just depends on what Mazda's plan is for those. And so we will have an update in the next week or two on just the CX-50 Hybrid to give you all the latest info at the time, but also have another conversation of how those trims break down, because there are going to be some equipment differences between the Hybrid and the CX-50 that we're accustomed to. And so it'll be important for us to get all that figured out before those vehicles start to be allocated and start to come in. So you can go ahead and put your name on the right trim, right model of CX-50 Hybrid that you want. Now let's jump to the breakdown of individual sales in the US. Mazda 3 with a total volume of 3,661. That breaks down 2,000 even in sedan, 1,661 in the hatchback. Mazda 6, gone, of course. The MX-5 Miata at 727. Not much change year over year, but it seems like there's barely any 24 Miatas. That breakdown, of course, soft top and RF, 387 and 340 respectively. So kind of just flip-flop those numbers from last year with more RFs last year. CX-3, gone. CX-30 with that best ever August, 7,940. So obviously there's a little bit of inventory shortage compared to those 5-digit months that the CX-30 had back-to-back up in the spring. CX-5 still in the 5-digit club, 12,887, is down a little bit, and I think the overall inventory may be down a little bit as they're feeding CX-5s to other markets, but we still have impressive CX-5 numbers, and those 25s are already landing at some dealerships, and ours should be any day. CX-9, gone, and you see last year they only sold 9. So 4 total for this year so far. I think they are about gone, really. CX-50 with its best all-time, 8,668. Wow, continues to grow, 200% increase year over year. So just excited about that product and can't wait to see what the hybrid adds. Really depends on how many of those they can get out in a hurry. MX-30, gone. CX-70, its best ever, 1,352, as we mentioned. CX-90 with its best ever, crossing the 6,000 unit point. And remember, the CX-70 and CX-90 are supposed to grow to about 80,000 a year. And so far, we're tracking right around 16,000. So a long way to go with those products, but exciting to see that we're seeing growth. Excited to see that we're seeing growth. And that brings the total in cars to 4,388, total in trucks to 36,871 for the second best ever sales month in the U.S., August 2024, 41,259. One last time, congratulations to everybody. This is just amazing to witness all of this. And to know that this is just scratching the surface, just the beginning, as this year they were hoping for that 4 to 450, and next year approaching that 500,000. So there's going to be more of this. Mazda's doing what other manufacturers have been doing, and it really makes me think, other than this CX-50 Hybrid, what new crossover could be coming next spring? Because we've had the 50 and 22, the 90 and 23, and the 70 and 24. So which one will we see in the spring? I think that wraps it up for all of our Mazda updates and information on August 2024. If you have any other questions or comments, you can drop them down below or text me at 334-718-0504. I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise. And I'll be here, and you'll be there, and I'll see you on the next one.